people come out and say the U.S. has more cases worldwide than anybody else. It's like, yeah, if you believe the numbers out of China, if you think those numbers are understated by a factor of 15x to 40x, which is what was reported in the mainstream media yesterday, okay? Don't ban my podcast for saying that. I'm already demonetized, by the way. Thank you, patrons. But that was reported in the mainstream. If you believe those numbers, then maybe we're not the biggest fuck up out of the whole world. Folks, how do you have a country of 1.3 billion people that are so densely populated? Do you ever see pictures of people walking through Beijing? They're shoulder to shoulder. They can't move. It's like you try to fit 1.3 billion people into a fucking shoebox. And you want me to believe that somehow the number of infections in that country got to 80-something thousand and then just magically stopped? Hey, George Gammon said it on my podcast best. If you haven't listened to my last podcast with George Gammon, do it. The math just doesn't make sense. This is not the type of situation where you just lock everybody in the house and the fucking thing stops spreading. Because it gets everywhere and it's invisible and we don't know where it is and we don't know who has it and we don't know who doesn't have it. So when I tell people you gotta prepare for the worst, and this is what the point I was trying to make several months ago when I was talking about this, is start doing the mental gymnastics necessary to understand that, yeah, there's gonna be famous people that come out and say that they have it, right? We already saw it with Tom Hanks, that, the baseball season's not gonna happen, the Olympics aren't gonna happen, all that shit I said. Right? It's all because the virus doesn't care. It doesn't care how much money we throw at it. It doesn't care what kind of press conferences we give. The virus goes and does whatever the fuck it wants to do. And those rules hold true for China. Okay? 1.3 billion people in a shoebox, and you're going to tell me 80,000 people have the infection? Folks, I don't fucking think so. I've believed a lot of bullshit in my day. Heck, I've come up with a lot of bullshit in my day. I've done my fair share of bullshitting. But that one, you're not going to get past me, okay? So, do I trust China when it comes to Luckin Coffee? Absolutely not. Do I trust China when it comes to their virus numbers? Absolutely not. The one thing that I said in my article that I want to reiterate is the U.S. should not feel bad about the amount of testing that we've done. When we see the numbers go up, and you can make the argument that the U.S. is hiding cases, not everybody's getting tested, whatever. But we're being way more transparent than I think China is. And we should hold our heads up, even though the numbers are devastating. And we know that they're going to get worse. We know the death toll is going to go up. We know that the infection number is going to go up. We should hold our heads up high and know that at least we're doing the right thing by trying to get as many people tested as possible. And trust me, if you don't think it pained Donald Trump to tell everybody to stay home for another 30 days after the 15 days were up, and you know, and I know that it pained him because he had told everybody, I want the economy reopened by Easter. Easter, wouldn't it be lovely if Christ rose from the dead and so did our economy? He had Easter set for the second resurrection. But Fauci, who I think has his ear, by the way, which is a good thing. Again, it's got to be that, fucking Brooklyn thing. I mean, they're both fucking New Yorkers, right? So there's some bond, even if they hate each other. You know, like a Met and a Yankees fan are going to be way less likely to kill each other than like a Yankees fan and a Red Sox fan. There's something about New York, even the people that fucking hate each other in New York, at the end of the day, they're still New Yorkers. You know, they still kind of have that bond. And that's what I think might be happening with Fauci and Trump. So I think it's good that Trump is apparently listening to the objective scientific data, because say what you want to say about him. And by the way, I watched Wolf Blitzer yesterday interview Mike Pence. Hey, we know the administration fucked up, Wolf, okay? Nobody knows that more than I do. And I was critical right from the get-go. When Trump gave his first press conference, we got 15 cases, we're going to 0. Actually, fuckface, we're going to 1 million, which is not even close to 0. Okay, I was very critical. I said Trump was going to lose the election on that. I came out and said it. Then, when Trump came out with Pence and did the task force and the whole 9 yards, and they started saying, all right, we're going to do testing, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I said, all right, we're moving in the right direction. So I don't know what Wolf Blitzer and John King are trying to accomplish on CNN by now just perpetually rubbing it in Pence and Trump's face. You want to talk shit? Talk shit in November when the fucking thing's under control. I don't care. Right now, the message should be that Americans should be proud of the fact that we're doing all of this testing. We have healthcare workers right now that are fucking heroes. End of story. Elon Musk comes out a couple days ago. Most doctors aren't treating patients because they're scared of getting the virus. You, sir, can go fuck yourself on behalf of the nurses, doctors, and all other healthcare workers that I know, okay? Because when I went to go drop off shit at my local hospital, this is probably 3 weeks ago. As you know, I'm a prepper, so I had all my shit together in January and was stocked and ready for the pandemic and was ready for a lot more worst case scenarios than the coronavirus as we know it. But I was ready, and then 6 weeks went by and there was all these messages about, hey, hospitals are running out of supplies, people can't get masks, don't hoard these things, whatever. So I said, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill up a box full of shit, and I'm going to drive it over to my local hospital, thinking it might not make that much of a difference, but if like one person in every town can do their local hospital, then that collectively makes some kind of big difference, right? So I throw the shit in the car, and I go over there, and I drop it off, and I see there's like 4 or 5 people in the emergency room that are working the administrative window, and they got a table set up for coronavirus shit, and everybody looks tired. And I mean, they really did look tired. And there weren't a lot of people in there at the time waiting to be treated, but the healthcare workers looked like, I mean, they were visibly tired, like they had bags under their eyes. The one guy that I talked to had bags under his eyes. Nice guy. And they're there. That dude didn't take the fucking day off. He's in the emergency room. You think he wants to be dealing with this shit? Don't you think he'd rather be home protecting his family? I mean, Elon Musk got some nerve coming out and saying most doctors are too scared. I mean, you can fuck right off with a comment like that. I don't trust Elon, and I don't trust Luckin Coffee, and I don't trust the Chinese government, and I sure as fuck don't trust the Fed.